You can find great target shares at wide receiver for 6K and below. And I think the conversation this week is going to revolve around Robby Anderson and DJ Moore. We talked about it on our last episode. I believe that Robby Anderson is the Panthers wide receiver 1. I think DJ Moore this week is a phenomenal play as well. I'm not sure where the public is going to land between these two guys, which one is going to be the popular cash play, if one actually is the popular cash play, or if it's kind of split. How do you view the situation working itself out with the two Carolina wide receivers?
Yeah, so I think that they both will have similar ownerships just because they are only $100 different in terms of pricing. DJ Moore is $6,000 and Robby Anderson is $5,900. And just back to the point, I don't see the need to pay up to a guy like DeAndre Hopkins when we have a guy like Robby Anderson at $5,900, $2,000 cheaper than DeAndre Hopkins. And a lot of these players in this range, like you mentioned, have great target shares and are in incredible matchups. So I think 6,000 to maybe even 6,600 is the highest that you go in cash. And Robby Anderson and DJ Moore are outstanding plays this week. Just getting back to that. I mean, the Falcons have given up the second most yards total in the NFL. They've given up the second most amount of receiving yards, the second most amount of catches to wide receivers. So this is just an incredible spot for both of them. And I think it's personal preference at this point. But if I had to make a prediction, DJ Moore is going to be lower owned than Robby Anderson, which would make him a better tournament play, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that would be kind of surprising to me, to be honest, to see the public be so quick to move on from DJ Moore as a guy, who was going in the third round of redraft leagues or best ball leagues, and Robby Anderson is a guy who was in the double digit rounds. I don't know if I believe that the public is going to be that quick to adapt, whereas Robby Anderson would be the higher owned guy, especially considering, Robby Anderson's numbers are better, more targets, more yards, more receptions, and more touchdowns than DJ Moore. The numbers are close enough, especially the target numbers are close enough that I think people will lean with what they're most comfortable with, which is thinking that DJ Moore's the wide receiver 1. But this is something that we'll have to track, I think, depending on, how the popular DFS sites like Roto Grinders, Establish the Run, etc., how they tout these guys throughout the week will have a big impact as well.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. But the public is getting sharper in recent years. So yeah. I think we'll see Robby Anderson have a good amount of ownership this week.
True.